Hello, hello. Welcome to Heal Your Heart, Heal Your Body with Marina Crispy. Here on Friday of a long weekend for Memorial Day. Memorial Day weekend here in the States. This is when we go and we are celebrating our men and women of service, our veterans, those from the past, the present, and those who are making the choice to go in shortly in the future, right? And we're asking also those to pray for and remember those who have passed, didn't make that journey home, but they made it their journey home to our Father in heaven, right? I also want to thank the families who are home while their loved ones are deployed, their spouses that are holding down the fort, taking care of the children, doing all that needs to be done at home when they're alone. And I want to say thank you to you also. You're heroes in your own right. So I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. You are appreciated. We love you, and thanks for all you do. So today is episode 23, day 16 of 50 podcasts in 60 days. And I am going to go with I was going to go with a meme that I saw that today that typically said, stay faithful in your trials and everything that you're going through, because God's going to reward you in the end. It's something similar to that, but I don't have it in front of me right now. And what does that mean? Stay faithful in the trials. Sometimes it's so stinking hard, right? I work with a lot of people of military who have walked through things that I can't even imagine walking through, have seen and witnessed things that I thought that my stuff was hard, right? And some of them stay so faithful. It's like, how did they stay faithful? Or some of them struggle with it because they're like, really? I'm seeing all this, and then I just have to put it in a little compartment inside of me and pretend like it didn't happen and keep going about my day, right? And it eats them up inside. And they have to keep that faith that God's going to pull them through it, that God's going to keep them safe, that God's going to heal them where they're broken. And then you have their family that's struggling at home, taking care of the kids. When the kids are sick and you want to call that spouse home from work, can you come home and help me? This one's throwing up. He has a high fever, or they just got hurt on the football field. I need you. When they're deployed and they're 1,000 miles away, they just can't hop a flight or get in the car and drive home. You're doing that on your own. And the only way to continue to walk in that life is to keep the faith. Keep your faith in God and pray to Him and keep Him in you to get you through that. To give you the strength. To give you the peace. To give you the joy. You know, some families out there, they don't get to speak to their loved one every day. They may be out in the trenches. You may have to set times to when you're going to talk to each other on the phone. They're going to call you at 1 a.m. They're going to call you at 3 a.m. They're going to call you at 2 p.m. at odd times, because whatever their time zone is or whatever their break time is, that's when you're going to hear from them. Maybe reception isn't good where they are. So you might have to go a week. And who the hell wants to go a week without talking to their spouse when shit is falling apart at home? But they keep the faith on both ends that everything's going to be all right. Even though I'm thousands of miles away, when she calls, I'm able to let her know everything's okay, or let him know everything's okay. Or when he or she calls and you're at home and they're struggling because, one, they're missing their family. They didn't see little Johnny take his first steps, or they didn't see so-and-so make their first home run. Now they're down, and the person at home is like, it's okay, honey, I got it on videotape for you. I'll send it to you so it'll feel like you were there. So it's constantly a balance, right? An ebb and a flow of how we're going to help hold each other up and how we're going to keep that faith within us to have that strength, to have that power to keep the fight going when you're fighting it alone, when you're not having that spouse. Or maybe you're home here and you do have a spouse here, you're civilians, right? But you're struggling in that marriage because you feel like you're fighting everything alone. Or you feel like you're two ships passing in the night. Or you constantly have the kids and they're off doing their thing. Or you're just holding on. And you don't have any more energy to fight to hold it on. I know. I've been there. Almost getting divorced. Not once, twice. To the same person. And here we are together, right? Separate bedrooms, living under the same roof. Not even speaking to one another. Kind of like roommates that you really don't talk to. They're going to work at midnight. You're going to work during the day. You have the kids. It's just not good. And you're like, that's it. Enough is enough. I'm not doing this anymore. God, what do you want me to do? And you find that little flicker of hope, that little flicker of faith, the faith the size of a mustard seed, to bring you back, or to give you that energy, to give you that oomph that you need to stay strong for them, to work it out, to find out where the missing link is. Where did we go wrong? How did we get here? The faith of the size of a mustard seed is still inside the both of you. If that's there and you're ready to fight the fight and you're ready to do the work, it's ugly. But if you want it bad enough and you're ready to be honest, be truthful, get what you need to get out and do what you need to do to save it, there's that faith of a mustard seed. God, I don't know if I have all that I need to have or all the trust that I need to have in you, but I know, God, if you want this to work, this is how much faith I have. Show me. Show me. So what is faith? The definition of faith is to have confidence or trust in, belief that is not based on proof, fidelity to a promise, oath, or allegiance, absolute trust in God and the doctrine of one's religion, and the synonyms: acceptance, belief, certainty, credence, doctrine, fidelity, hope, loyalty, reliance, trinity, and truth. Faith, the size of a mustard seed, to heal, to fix, to ask for forgiveness. What if your spouse has been out on deployment for 8 months, 9 months? Now they're coming home and they have to get used to your way of doing things at home. The stress of them coming back in, but the excitement of them coming back in. Them having to conform to the civilian life again and not under. Maybe they witnessed something out on the field that we're unaware of and they don't want to talk about it. The stress of having to heal them or help heal them, get them where they need to go. Or now you're like, yes, they're coming home, I'm going to get some freedom. And they're unable to step in at that moment. That dance, right? That dance again of moving back and forth. How we are going to get through this. So in John 1:12, Happy are those who remain faithful under trials, because when they succeed in passing such a test, the test of holding each other up, this test of being there for the other person, the test of fighting the fight to save the marriage, the test of releasing the ones that can't grow with you, the test of moving forward alone, the test of having the washing machine break, the hot water heater go, your driver's license gets screwed up, the test of things that are going on in your life at the present moment, the test of what happened to you in your past. When you can remain faithful, you will receive as the reward the life which God has promised to you who love him. The test. There's always a test, right? There's a test in relationships. There's a test at our job. When we're doing our job and you have somebody that's just constantly pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing on you. One that's riding your nerves, that person that's fighting for your position, or they want the promotion, but they're not willing to stand in integrity and do it the right way. So they're pushing and pushing and pushing you. But in the end, your boss sees what great works you're doing and you get the promotion. That's faith. That's the test. That's standing in his grace. That's standing in belief that he's going to give you the strength to get through it. The reward on the other side is beautiful. The reward of a healed marriage. That reward of having your husband or wife come home from deployment and healing it and coming back together and working as a team together, even though it's so difficult and the dance feels like the timing is off. That one's on this 2-step and the other one's on the 4-step, right? So the waltz is not as beautiful as you would see it on a regular dance floor, because the test to see if you can get back in the rhythm again, or are you going to throw in the towel? Are you going to save the faith, have the faith, and believe that God's going to get you through it? Are you going to have the fight in your belly, or that little flicker, when you get that little flicker still left in you to fight the fight, to have that faith the size of a mustard seed, to get back in the rhythm, get back in the game, to stand strong. That little interruption that you might hear right there, I don't know how to fix it. I was getting a call from my husband checking in on the day, and it just kept clicking me off. So whatever you hear that break, I apologize. I don't know how to edit. I'm not a mastermind at this. God just told me to do these podcasts and get it out there. I will get better at it, but today I just need to share what I'm sharing with you. So always look at what the reward is in the end. Always stand on the promises of God. Always, he's not going to lie to us and promise us all of this greatness if he wasn't going to supply us with it. So if you have the faith the size of a mustard seed, and you believe in your heart that you know that you can heal a marriage, you can get back in the flow with your spouse who's been deployed, that spouse that might have some coming home with added injury, either physical or emotional injury, and you know that you can do it with that tiny bit of faith that God has put in you, that you can overcome it, and you can get the reward at the end. You can get the reward of a healed marriage. You can get the reward of the promotion. You can get the reward of a spouse on their way of healing, or that spouse that's been home and you're back in the flow of the way your family was. Maybe you just have a spouse that travels a lot for work and they're absent a lot of the time. And when they come home, it takes you a day or two to get back in the swing of things. Keep the faith. Ask God to give you the strength. Ask God to show you the way. Say, God, I don't have it in me at this moment in time. Can you show me how to stay faithful? Can you show me? He will step in and say, absolutely, my son. Absolutely, my daughter. Because that is staying faithful in the test. That is showing him that you love him so much that you're going to allow him. You're going to trust him to step in and give you and the other person the strength, the belief, the fight, the will to keep moving forward, to grow with each other, to love with each other, to mend things with each other, to see things through each other's eyes, to be able to say, I'm sorry where I screwed up, for you to be honest with each other, to have that conversation. He will give you that. So the faith and the trust in him through your trials, through the time that you're separated, through the time that you're fighting to save the marriage, from the time that you're fighting for the up level in your job. If you're starting a new business and that struggle of like, holy crap, maybe I shouldn't be doing this because I've walked in that myself. And you stay in faith and say, God, you put this business on my heart. I'm trusting and believing in you that you are going to bring me through. That you're going to put your hand on it. That this is not going to be my business. It's going to be our business. You're going to walk through this together with me and you're going to help me grow it. You're going to give me the knowledge. You're going to give me the vision. You're going to give me the strength. You're going to give me the perseverance to grow this business of mine. He's going to give you the strength. He's going to give you the vision. He's going to give you the knowledge to heal a relationship. He's going to give you the strength. He's going to give you the vision. He's going to give you the knowledge to be able to let a relationship go because they're not ready to grow with you. But let you continue to love them where they are. But at this moment in time, they're not going to grow with you. They're not going to go with you because they're not ready. That's okay. It's perfectly okay. But don't get stuck yourself. I'm going to raise my hand on that because I've done it myself. I was so afraid to move forward because what if I don't take this friend, that friend, and the other friend with me? What if I don't have them in my life like I used to have? What if I don't have them beside me? Who am I going to be without them? I've been with them for X amount of years, and now what? Your reward is that next group of friends that are going to raise you and bring you through. Those next relationships in business that you're going to create in that next level. People who are already walking where he's putting you. People who have walked already and they're going to show you the way. They're going to bring you through and share you with you how you can continue to grow in that. He's going to put people in your marriage that are going to have had those struggles and made it through on the other side. And they're going to be able to guide you and show you and understand you instead of saying, girl, walk away from him. Or you don't need to be doing this all by yourself. I heard a lot of that. You don't deserve to be treated like that. But it was all one-sided. It's all one-sided. See, when we do that inner work, and friends, let me tell you, we're constantly doing inner work. I'm doing it now. I'm doing a 40-day one. A whole different kind of... See, even though I'm a coach and I help people in their life, and I help people with their trauma, I help people with their health, we're always being coached. I have another coach, my own coach, that's teaching me more about healing trauma, who's teaching me how to grow in who I am at this point in my time, who's already exceeded me, and he's already on his way. He's coaching me. So we're always being coached. We're always being taught. We're always learning. It's when we put the brakes on and we don't do that anymore, that's when God says, where are you going? If you're going to be stuck there, you're going to be stuck there. I'm not going to pull you if you're not willing to do the work, if you're not willing to see the light, if you're not willing to pass the test, if you're not willing to stay in faith, if you're not willing to know that it's time for you to grow, it's time for you to learn, time for you to step in and do something different or change the way you are. I needed to change my mouth. I needed to change the way I reacted to things. I reacted quick. I was like, either if he talked to me like that, then he doesn't love me anymore. Or I also reacted in a way of being very defensive and in his face. I reacted in a non-reactive way. I reacted in avoidance, avoided things. If I avoid it, it'll go away. No, it just got bigger. Right? So with this message today that I'm giving y'all and myself, because this is always a message for me and a message for you, that even through all of our trials, if we stay in faith, even if it's a mustard seed size faith, and we stay in trust, he will bring us through. And the reward on the other side is beautiful. The reward on the other side is having that person to support you when you feel like you can't support yourself. For having that promotion in the job. For watching your business take off. For getting back into the dance with a spouse that's been deployed. So God has a purpose for your pain. A reason for your struggle and a reward for your faithfulness. Trust in him and never give up. Don't give up. Because the minute you give up is the minute you don't see the breakthrough. As tough as hell as it is to want to throw in the towel, climb back under the covers, put the covers over your head, cry all day long. I've been there. I was there the other day. I'm going to be truthful. I went to go pick my husband up at work and I was sobbing in the parking lot like a little baby. He is like, what in God's name is going on with you? I'm working with that coach, finding some remnants of stuff that I thought were healed that needed to be dealt with. So when I'm working with my clients, I can give them that added support, right? So we get those moments, cry it out and stand back up again. Remember the reward on the other side for staying faithful in him is far greater than giving up. Even though we say, God, how much more are you going to put on my shoulders? Or if you've even heard, he only gives you as much as you can handle. It's BS. Sometimes we pull in the stuff that's coming to us because it's by decisions we made, by ways that we speak, by the tone that we keep, by the things that we put out of our mouths. Right? Me the other day, the refrigerator went. The hot water heater went, my husband's license got screwed up, and I said, anything else, God? And then I was like, taking it back, reversing that, cutting that one off. I am not going to put that out there. Not putting it out there, because what happens, you're going to get more, because it's what you're feeding out there. Cut it off, zip your lip, shut up, train yourself not to speak that way anymore. Don't even say he only gives you as much as you can handle. I used to say that's why I have such broad shoulders, because he keeps, that's talking more of that on my life. Cut it off. Take it back. I'm not carrying that. So, James 1:12, happy are those who remain faithful under trials, because when they succeed in passing such tests, your marriage, a deployment, a sick child, a sick parent, your job, your business, your tests, your own life, whatever's going on in your life, your test, whatever it is, you will receive a reward, the life of which God has promised you who loves him. You who loves him. So if you stay in faith, the size of a mustard seed, that you love in God, you stand in his word, and you fight the fight. Even when you're at your weakest, even when you don't want to get out of that bed, even when you don't want to take the covers off your head, even if you want to cry for a month, 6 months, a year. Remember, when you succeed in passing the test, the reward on the other side is far greater. Your promotion, a happy marriage, healthy kids, happy kids, healed parents. I'm going through that right now with my mom. So, healed parents, stay in faith. Even if it's just that little flicker of faith, even if it's that little flicker of hope, stand on it and ask him, God, give me the knowledge, give me the strength, give me what I need. God, give it to me so I can make the right decisions. I can heal where I've screwed up. I can ask for forgiveness. I can forgive. I can love them from here as I move up there. I can say goodbye. I can meet new people. I can work with another coach. I can grow in who you want me to be. But Father, give it to me. I'm standing on your word because in James 1:12 you said, if I succeed happily, if I stay faithful, remain faithful under my trials. Because when I succeed in passing the test that you put before me, then my reward will be the promises that you gave me, God. The reward is all the promises. The joy, the peace, the success, the prosperity, the abundance, the love. Every promise he's given you. And if you don't know the promises, Google them. We Google everything. Google the promises of God in the Bible, and you will get a whole boatload of them. And you stand on those promises every single day. Speak them out. You're going to heal my marriage. Jeremiah 30:17. You're going to restore my health and heal my wounds, declared the Lord. Stand on that. Heal your wounds. Whatever your wounds are, he's going to heal them. Whatever you need healing, heal your marriage, heal you. So you can be 100% in healing your marriage. Heal my child, restore my child's health, heal my wounds. Stand in it. Ephesians 3:20, he will give me exceedingly and abundantly more than I could ever imagine. Right? So stand in his words. Speak it over him. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. All this stuff that we're walking around in is not going to prosper in my life. Even though the devil may be telling you, whispering it in your ear, this is all that you're good for, just to be abused. This is all that you're good for. You screwed up. This is all bull crap. Shut up, that devil. Because God said, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Talk to it. Evict him. Tell him to get out of your life. It's garbage. God didn't create you to be stagnant and not go for the promotion, not to open the new business, not to heal your marriage, not to heal yourself, not to heal and have a happy relationship. not to have love and joy and all those things that he's promised us, right? Peace, hope, and love. The greatest is love. That was a podcast the other day. God created us for abundance. God created us for joy. God created us for peace, happiness, love. That's what he created for us. He didn't create us to be miserable and wallowing in our stuff and not fighting the fight that we need to fight, not going through things happily, even though it sucks. That's not who he created us to be. He created us to stand in faith. So if we are tempted by such trials, we must not say that temptation comes from God. For God cannot be tempted by evil, and he himself tempts no one. So God's not going to tempt you to fight the fight. God's not going to hang a carrot over your head saying that if you do this, you can have this. He's not going to tempt you to love him. He's going to just ask you. He's going to give it to you, right? But we are tempted when we are drawn away and trapped by our own evil desires. Then when our evil desires conceive and give birth to sin, and sin, when is full grown, gives birth to death. Do not be deceived, my dear friends. Every good gift and every perfect present comes from heaven. If it comes down from God, the creator of heavenly lights, who does not change or cause darkness by turning, by his own will, he brought us into being through the world of truth, so that we should have first place among all his creations. Remember this, my dear friends. Everyone must be quick to listen, but slow to speak and slow to become angry. There's the good one, right? That's James 1:19. James 1:20. Human anger does not achieve God's righteous purpose. So get rid of every filthy habit and wicked conduct. Submit to God and accept the word that he plants in your heart, which is able to save you. What? Right? I love it. I get so excited when I read this stuff. Do not deceive yourselves by just listening to his word. Instead, put it into practice. Friends, put it into practice. Don't react the way you react. Don't speak the way you speak. Do you know what I heard when I was being all loud and nasty? Zip it, Marina. Zip it. Shut up. I needed to learn to just shut it. Shut it. Stop reacting. Stop being angry. Because the anger and all was not just coming from my relationship with my husband. It was all this other stuff that I had going on and the stuff that I was hanging on to as a child. That's what I was angry about. Right? So listen to what he plants in your heart. Have that faith of a tiny mustard seed. Hear what he's telling you to do. See the vision he's giving you for the business, for the promotion, for your marriage. Be in it as he wants you to be in it. Walk in love. Walk in forgiveness. Forgiveness is a big one. Forgive you first, then you can forgive the other person. I struggled with the forgiveness for myself. Was one of the hardest things I had to do. For my mouth, for my reactions, my behaviors. It was hard. It was very hard. But once you get there, it's so much easier to forgive others. Forgive. Love. Walk as you are him. God's in you. When you take God as to be your heavenly Father, he now dwells in you. So carry yourself as you are him. I'll hear things when I go to say something. I'll hear, Then I'm like he's correcting me, saying, we don't talk like that anymore. Or no judgment goes here because I don't judge you. You don't judge somebody else. Scrolling through Facebook and you see somebody post something and you're like, oh, really? Come on. because you know that it's a little bit different in real life than what's being presented on Facebook. Instead of chiming in and saying what you think, just say, God bless them, love them where they're at, and leave it at that. Friends, it's a growth, but just remember. The test is how we carry ourselves. The test is how we react. The test is what we're willing to do to fix something. The test is, who are we going to judge those posts on Facebook, or are we going to bless them and keep scrolling on? The test is how we conduct ourselves in our lives. So I could go on and on and on, but I'm not going to. I'm going to let it go here. And I'm going to say to you, remain faithful under your trials, because when you succeed in passing such a test, you will receive the reward, the life which God has promised you who loves him. Walk in him, keep the faith in him, believe in him, believe in his promises. Stay faithful, even if it's a tiny, tiny speck of faith, the size of a mustard seed. Let him know, Lord, I have faith in you and I trust you that you are going to get me through this, that you are going to watch my mouth, you're going to watch my reaction, you are going to watch my behaviors, you are going to give me the strength to heal what needs to be healed in my marriage, in relationships. You are going to give me the strength to stay at this job and work because at my 100% best, so I can get that promotion, so I can move forward in my job. Stay faithful through the tests. That he has a purpose for it, because he's going to put somebody in your life, friends, that's going to be walking through something that you already made it out of. And you can say, I've been there, I get it, I understand, and it can be done. And you're going to coach them. You're going to be the light to show them that they too can make it through this. So, happy Memorial Day to all of you. Don't just celebrate with a barbecue. Remember who we're celebrating. Celebrate not only our veterans, but celebrate their families, because they're heroes also. I want to say thank you to our veterans. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your life, for some of you. Thank your families for being heroes at home and holding down the fort while you're gone. And we appreciate you, we support you, and we love you. Until tomorrow, be blessed and walk in Jesus' love, because he lives inside of you. Stay strong through the test and have enough faith the size of a mustard seed to fight the fight that you need to fight. I love you all. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Stay well.